So, hello my Gunrunners, welcome back to AKAYY Reacts. For anyone that's new, I'm AKAYY, an ex-conscript of Iran, technically just a workforce soldier assigned to law enforcement, as my job was a patrolman, meaning I wasted my service doing patrol duties, guard duties, judicial escorts, and anything else you'd think be relevant to a police force. After a few days of unexpected stuff, I'm back again with another one of our favorite duo creators, at least mine personally, Katrina / ARCOM Campfire stories by mikeburnfire and Zach Hazard. Please do remember to check them down below. I'm going to have all the links you're going to need down in the description, and you'll see it in the top right corner right about now. Make sure to go over there, give them a like, subscribe, comment, share, all of that. Let the algorithm do its thing. And without further ado, let's get started. And start.
I would sleep in my shop on a pretty regular basis. I would show
The
up for
repair
work
shop,
and there
okay.
wouldn't be like any guns for me to work on, so I would just close the outside door to my shop and
That
close
would
the
be
inside
good.
door and close the cage
If there's
door
no
and then
one
just lie down on
working
the floor
for
and take a nap for a while.
Yeah, if there's no one looking for you.
Sometimes I would get out of PT or like certain company functions.
I've done that, I'm sorry.
We have a 94th Brigade Support Battalion run coming up tomorrow. Oh no, shoot! You know what? I can't go. Delta
Stuff
Company
I need to do,
needs their
yeah.
weapons gauged.
Yeah.
Yup. Delta Company, weapons gauged. Yeah, I gotta
Not
be
here,
up bright
gotta
and
be
early.
somewhere else,
What's the
anywhere
time run?
else.
5 a.m. is when I have to be at Delta Company gauging their weapons, and I would show up at Delta Company at 5 in the morning and be like, yeah, I'm supposed to gauge your
gauging
weapons.
weapons?
They'd be like, yeah, you just did that like 2 months ago. I'd be like, yeah, I'm just gonna fall asleep in your arms for a
Shut the
minute.
hell up.
You just straight up told them you were gonna fall asleep. Really?
That'll be fine if
I
they're
can't say I
fine
ever
with
had
it, yeah.
quite the experience you did. I was in the engineer support company.
I've
and
done that.
I was operating the water machinery most of the time. And then the motor pool unit got deployed, and we had nobody to drive the Humvees.
Okay.
So I got cross-trained into motor pool.
Wow.
So that we could move our water machinery around. And for a brief period of time, the motor pool was deployed, and they needed us to do different kinds of work. I would usually opt for the easiest of the two jobs.
That would be
We need
fair.
someone to drive these 7 tons around all these places. Oh no, water support needs me to do this.
It's
Oh,
an
we need to
emergency
load up
with the
these
water
3
support
TRIPS
group.
units,
Yeah.
These giant machines. I guess I better go with the motor pool because they need me to drive them.
Using one to
you're
get
gonna
out
need when
together?
you're
Yeah.
transporting those water purification machines. Somebody to transport the troops. I'll get the 7 ton.
That would be smart.
And then
That
motor
would be
pool
smart.
Came back.
Ah,
And I still.
free ride is over.
But many of them had gotten out, and motor pool was just down to 4 or 5 people.
Oh, jeez.
So we still stuck around.
Nice.
Ooh. Rose up to the occasion, huh? Alright, I'm gonna talk about this a little bit. First off, always remember we were conscripts. We were required by law to be there. And we are at times used as a disposable, like, not disposable as like human life, but extra muscle. It's just the only reason they had us is because they wanted to fill shoes somewhere. So believe me, the worst thing an officer could see was seeing you doing nothing. That was just enough to usually piss them off. They wouldn't require anything more. Yet there is no place on this God's green earth that a drill sergeant doesn't get angry. Like, it's kind of the requirement. We get it. So yeah, they hated us not working, and definitely it was a preferred state for us conscript who were not being paid as much and were of course used to being bossed around all the time. Making yourself look scarce was mostly enough. Just don't let them find you. I have spent most of my time doing patrol and judicial stuff, but there was a simple time during the last days of my conscription. I was sent back to home. During that time, I was serving in my own state, like where my family used to live and all that. So I was close to home. I was almost done with my service and they just sent me away for the last like a month and a half. I've passed the guard duty stage, the patrol duty heavy lifting stage. I was just stuck in an office room doing paperwork, getting statements, entering them into a computer for like filling out forms and cases per se. It was an easier job at the end. Of course, the officers didn't like that I had the white collar type work, although that was just kind of like my prize. They just kind of looked at me and this guy's no use to us anymore. Send him home to waste away for a few more months before you let him go. So yeah, they would easily give us jobs that weren't ours, but because we were given a quote-unquote easy job, we were supposed to do them, yeah. But hey, the job was actually worth it. I was actually working in shifts. At this point, I was doing the morning one because that's when the office works were usually just done. And at around noon, I was actually allowed to go home, something which was definitely rare. You know, it helped me like kind of de-stress the last few months, and the job was easier, considering it was technically an 8-hour shift rather than my usual patrol duties, which were 12-hour shifts. Now, because at the end I was working with many of the officers themselves, you know, during statement taking and filling out cases and stuff, I was on pretty good terms with like most of them, so they would cover for me when I genuinely needed it. I extensively remember there was this inspection going on, and they weren't looking for me. They were looking for officers and stuff, like official businesses. But if you learn anything, is that never be in the way of inspectors, especially when they're not looking for you. You're just looking for trouble at that point. So I did use my position sometimes to just call up like one of our patrol guards and get in the car and say, oh, I'm just an extra escort at this point, just to get out from under their questioning and stuff. Because of course they do. The religious inspections and stuff sometimes happen, and they would ask the most weirdest questions of our version of like jurisprudence, religious studies, and well, different stuff. As a heathen myself, definitely was not a favorite of mine. Neither were for a lot of other conscripts, to be honest. So we would rather be anywhere else than the inspectors. So I've used my job to kind of get out of these positions like the same, because I could do both parts of the job. And I have picked the one that was easiest or would get me out of trouble at times, yes. But one thing that frankly I never did was sleeping on the job. You genuinely can't do that, not as a 911 responder at least. During patrol duty, we were working our ass off. It was 12 hours a day, just scouting all around in a car, just going alleyways by alleyways, streets, checking out shops, banks. It is mentally straining. And you do not see anything good. Like literally, no one calls a 911 responder for anything good, you know? So anytime a call came in, you know there was going to be trouble of some kind. It genuinely requires nerves of steel to be able to like work that job, as it is very straining. And I was very, very happy that I got the job at the end to get forgotten doing a thing that no one cared about, as it was kind of like a pencil pusher, but it was way easier. And I got to spend some time with the family, which came by very, very rarely. I would like to remind you, I've talked about this before, for each month of service, you would get 3 days of rest. So during the times I was serving out of my own state, I would usually serve for 2 or 3 months to maybe get a week and a half. If I'm lucky, I was on good behavior and I had no problem. They might have extended it to 2 weeks, but just because you had those 3 days didn't mean you could use them whenever. You had to pull in a request, get your commando's signature on it, give it to logistics and offices. They would have to confirm it, reduce it from your total number of vacation days that you have, and confirm that from this date to due to this date, you are now on vacation. Yeah, bureaucracy. Let's keep going.
Hurricane Katrina was fun.
No, it wasn't.
Wait, what?
Lots of people lost their lives.
I went outside and somebody had left a PlayStation sitting outside in the rain, and I found it and I skipped
Why?
it off the water. And I ruined the Chuck Taylors that I was wearing, and then I also watched the roof of the gazebo get blown away. I literally...
I'm gonna say nothing about it. This is just Mother Nature being pissed. I'm not gonna make any comment about this.
all of my windows and put blankets behind them.
All right,
so that if
that's
the glass
good.
broke, it wouldn't shower on me while I was
Yeah.
asleep. I had just finished doing that, and I was like, I've never been in a hurricane before. And I went and stood outside in the hurricane while there's high winds blowing and
Why?
chunks of metal flying through the air, just kind of hoping
Why?
that maybe a stray brick would hit me in the head so
Oh,
I
just
wouldn't have to go to work tomorrow.
end it all.
And then
Can't
you
say I
heard
can't
from your
feel that.
officer's office, oh no, my roof just collapsed. My new cabinets are ruined. Oh, the palatable irony!
The day after
The
Hurricane
other
Katrina,
cabinets,
I had to
yeah,
help one
I
of my
remember
friends
the
go out in
story.
the parking lot and flip over his Volkswagen Beetle because the storm had flipped it over.
Oh,
Of all the things that could be flipped over, yeah, I would imagine that.
a beetle.
Did he return the favor? Did he help you flip your car over?
My car didn't get flipped over.
Did he help you flip it anyway?
And then
Why
I also
would
got the Humanitarian Service Award for aiding during the Hurricane Katrina cleanup.
Oh,
Because you
that is
flipped
such
over
a-
that car.
Such
No,
a good
I
thing.
walked around post and picked up sticks.
Is that literally what got you the award?
That is what got me the award.
Oh,
and when they
God.
gave me the award, I tried to not accept it because I said I didn't earn this. And they said, just take the fucking award. And I went,
Oof.
okie dokie.
You know,
Did you ever wear it?
fair.
No, I didn't even put it on my uniform. I didn't fucking earn this. I'm not putting it on my uniform. When I got out of the
Good on
military, I
you,
think I had
taking
like
the
4
high
ribbons
road.
on my uniform.
What were your 4 ribbons? What
Not
about
gonna lie,
obviously
I'm
the
good
National
now.
Defense ribbon we all had?
Yes, that
I'm
one. There was
impressed.
the Operation Iraqi Freedom ribbon.
And you
The
also
one
had the
he
good
served,
cookie, I'm
yeah.
sure, because
Yeah.
your good behavior.
I think I had that one too.
Even after you damaged the machinery and told your warrant officer to piss off,
I think that was pretty much it. I think I only had like those 3 ribbons.
and also the
Oh.
4th one you rejected.
We don't get
Oh, yeah,
ribbons.
also the fourth one that I rejected.
Not the
I remember-
conscripts. The officers do.
Oh, this still makes me mad. This still annoys me.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure the Marines have something similar to it, but there's a thing in the Army that's the ARCOM, which is the Army Commendation Medal.
Okay.
You did something
All
great.
right.
Here's recognition for it.
That
Oh.
seems like a very nice medal to have.
You can get them for all kinds of different things. I never got one. I'm still bitter about it.
But you
Oh.
should have got one because,
My God.
aside from all of the work you did being the sole armorer,
Being a soul armor, when I was in Iraq, weapons are supposed to be gauged every 6 months.
Right.
Every 6 months, you're supposed to make sure that everything is within spec.
Yeah.
And if you're in combat, it's 1 year. Because you probably won't have time to gauge all the weapons. Well, somebody
Sure.
in our chain of command decided that they wanted to make it every 6 months while we were in Iraq.
okay,
And they didn't tell
Inactive
me about
operations?
this until
Sure.
a day before it was going to be up. You're
Why?
kidding me right now.
the only thing you can do at that point is tell them, there's not much I can do.
I'll do what I can, but I can't do a whole lot.
Yeah, that
You
is
had
fair.
over 800 weapons.
Over 800. I think the record was somewhere around
1,000.
1,050 something weapons.
A lot of weapons.
And so I basically had to contact all of these different companies. Most of them were in our base, but a bunch of them were at little tiny COPs, coalition operating post. Little tiny
Oh.
ones all over the place in Baghdad. In 24 hours, I gauged 1,000 some odd weapons.
Oh, God.
I just went from our base to cop to cop to cop to cop. Half the time I was riding in other companies' vehicles that were like, oh yeah, we're going by that area. We'll just drop
Oh.
You off.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just hitch a
It was
ride.
literally, we're going by that area and we have to stop in there for a refuel.
You were hitchhiking from
Pretty much
Yeah,
hitchhiking
yeah.
from base to base in Iraq. And I was up for over 24 hours because I would just go from one
Oh,
to the other. and I
God,
would
that
just
would
sleep in the
be
vehicles
so
in
bad.
between. I would just like fall asleep in one of the Humvees
I've
in
done
between,
that.
like going from one to the
Oh.
other. I somehow managed to get all of those done. I got back to my base. I am so fucking tired. I am so tired. Went back to my room and slept for about 2 hours before somebody woke me up because I needed to fix something else.
Good
get back
Lord,
to your
come
job.
on.
Get back to your job. Why are you slacking? I got nothing. I basically got a pat on the shoulder and a, yeah, good
Wow.
job. Get back to work.
Now you're going to work again.
Go to work like 2 days later. Somebody fixes the air conditioning unit on the battalion commander's Humvee.
Oh, no.
That's good.
And he gets an ARCOM for it.
Oh, God.
That's all. All you had to do
Why?
is repair
Why?
the air conditioner.
And
that
For
was
AC.
something that had already been slated to be done. And the guy that fixed it got an Army Commendation Medal.
Wow.
Here sits Specialist Zach with absolutely nothing to show for working his ass off and gauging over
Doing
1,000
over
weapons
and
in
beyond
24
for
hours.
nothing.
Did anybody
Oh.
know you had done this, or was this a silent sacrifice?
I told people about it because my company was like, "Where's Specialist Zach? Why isn't he in the motor pool?"
He's out doing gauging on weapons. He'll be back later.
New policy.
I guess.
Yeah,
They didn't even know.
I think a lot of it just came down to most of the time people just didn't understand what it was I did. And it's still
Fair,
happens when I tell
yeah,
people,
yeah,
"Oh, I was
same.
in battalion armor." They'll be like, "Oh, so you sat in the arms room?" No, I didn't sit in the arms room. I have to resort to telling people that I was the battalion gunsmith. Because if I tell people that I'm the battalion armorer, they assume that I just sat in the arms room and did
Oh.
nothing all day.
I've known you for over a decade since your military service, and I still think that's what you do.
If the gun was broken and the guy that sits in the arms room can't fix it, I am the person that has to fix it.
Yeah.
At the very least, let me congratulate you. I can't give you that award, but yeah, congratulations. I know your story now.
I
You know,
accept
fair.
this award on behalf of me, myself, and I.
Well done on that. That's a feat, to be sure. Oh, that was it. As always, a lovely video by Zach and Mike. Make sure to go over to their channel, give them a like, subscribe, comment, share, anything. Just feed the algorithm. And if you like this video, maybe do the same for me. Now I'm gonna tell a story. I want nothing from it. I've already passed my conscription. There's nothing that can be done. So just treat this as my own part of the story I wanted to tell. The only commendations that a conscript can ever reach while serving is the SAW, is what we call it. It had two names, either that or Lashkar, one of these two, which means kind of like workaholic or the try hard in a way. It's a way to say the helpful conscript. Model, it's their version of model conscript, if you will. I have only heard that they would ever give that one if they wanted to show someone any sort of appreciation. There is no monetary gain, there is no rank, installment, or any sort of benefits to it. There's only one thing that it does, and that is if you are penalized by extra time of service. Like, let's say you ran away from service for a few days, and when you come back, they're going to charge you with fleeing from conscription during duty and give you more time that you have to serve. It's a pretty common punishment for any sort of misbehaving, or getting into fights or breaking any sort of law, as you would expect. If you were penalized by any means, unless it was something egregious, you could reduce the extra time that you had to serve by 3 whole months, which is pretty substantial, don't get me wrong. Because by the way, the penalized time that you had to serve, you don't get any money from it. Like, you literally don't have a paycheck. Like, the government's not gonna pay you for something you did wrong and are penalized to do for them, you know? So that is the only good point about, like, becoming a model conscript. People got on that for many reasons. Some did actually do heroic deeds, some had good behaviors and got it, some had clean records, and as such. Now, I'm only saying this because I was actually nominated to be one. Was working in the precinct like every day, was cleaning the cop car, had to, was in the morning about 9 or 10 a.m., passed by the captain's office, he called me. Our old captain, lovely man, genuinely like the epitome of a cop. Serve and protect, was pretty religious, but he was a very solid dude. Called me in, said, hey, AK, work on your parade footwork. You're going to be given an honor in HQ. Last 6 months you did pretty solid. I want to nominate you for the model conscript. Up until that point, I had no idea what it was. So I kind of jokingly said, is it worth anything? Like, is there a prize? Is there some money involved? I was genuinely asking, so what's it about? Like, what are they supposed to actually give me? He said, oh, and it's not something serious. It's a recommendation. It's a box with a ceremonial piece of paper they're going to give you, signed with your name and stuff like that. Oh, also, if you have any sort of extra service time, up to 3 months of it will be reduced. And I specifically remember because I asked normal service time or extra service time, because I had no extra service time. I was technically on a clean record, so I was not penalized and I had no extra service time. Captain said, oh no, it only works on extra service time. It doesn't reduce your sentence for like total amount of service you have to go through. Now, he said that and I was like, Captain, can I refuse? He asked why, and I said, well, first off, this is going to be full of ceremonial type of stuff, and out of basic training, I haven't marched anywhere. I genuinely don't remember anything of it. This is going to require me do all of the marching stuff from scratch, and I was just not having it. Second, there was no actual incentive because it wouldn't do anything for me. So I told him, well, in this same precinct that I am serving right now, there are people that, while not really with a clean record, they do have extra time. I think it would be best if one of them took it and had 3 months of his extra time like reduced. And while some would have argued that they deserved or did not deserve that extra service time that they were stuck with, it would be of some use to them and none to me. So I refused and told our captain to give it to one of the other conscripts, and he did, but not before giving me a understanding smile and telling me, fine, I'll find something that is useful to you too. And he left. And to be fair, that was the same captain that got me the job at the office in my own state, which I got to go home for office after hours, which was pretty solid. So yeah, I refused a extremely small, I'm not going to make a big thing out of this, extremely small commendation, because it would literally not do me any good. Gave it to another conscript by telling my captain, and my captain got me a solid job after I transitioned out of that station. Also, I do know for a fact the other soldier that got the accommodation did have extra time off and did get a 3 months reduction on his service. So I think my words actually had a effect, because the captain actually chose someone that had extra time that he needed to serve. Also secured myself a good position, so the good ending for all parties involved. And that was it. But hey, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I ranted on enough. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to support the original creator of the video and show me any support you can. See you next week. Bye.